Not only does Godzilla King of the Monsters open the door to a whole world of new titans like Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, but it also paves the way for next year's epic monster mash Godzilla vs. Kong. But what's Godzilla vs. Kong really going to be about? Who's the true villain of the film, and how can little itty bitty Kong take on big old Godzilla anyway? We've got some ideas. Pretty early on in King of the Monsters, Kong's home of Skull Island gets a mention. In the 5 years since 2014's Godzilla movie, the world has become aware of the existence of so-called titans like Godzilla, and that includes one who inhabits the prehistoric Skull Island. Wonder who that could be. Later, once the end credits roll, we get an exposition recap in the form of multiple news reports. It turns out the scheme plotted by Vera Farmiga's character to unleash the titans and thereby bring about a new balance on Earth actually seems to be working. After Godzilla helps to contain the beast and truly becomes King of the Monsters with all the other kaiju bowing before him, it's revealed the Earth and its inhabitants, both humans and monsters, are thriving. But not just that, we also learn that for some unknown reason, the Titans are being pulled towards Skull Island. It appears that there's some kind of heightened activity there and monsters are being drawn to it like a beacon. That's probably why Godzilla will end up heading towards the prehistoric paradise and inevitably coming to blows with its most famous inhabitant, even more famous than John C. Reilly.
I'm trying to scare you.
The official description of Godzilla vs. Kong also hints that at least some of the film's action will take place on Skull Island. As Monarch embarks on a perilous mission into uncharted terrain and unearths clues to the Titans' origins, a human conspiracy threatens to wipe the creatures, both good and bad, from the face of the Earth forever. This tease also seems to link to the post-credit scene in King of the Monsters. In it, Charles Dance's character, Jonah Allen, purchases one of Ghidorah's severed heads. So, could it be that the murderous eco-terrorist has turned his back on the Titans and is part of a plot to build a cyborg Mecha Ghidorah to destroy them? One which Godzilla and Kong will have to team up to take down? God, I hope so. This is all hypothetical for now, but if that was the case, it could also tie into one of the fan favorite theories from the lead up to Godzilla King of the Monsters. Namely, that Dance's ex-military villain is in fact an older version of Tom Hiddleston's character, Captain James Conrad, from Kong Skull Island. Sure, they have different names, but there's always the chance that Jonah Allen was actually a pseudonym. If they are the same guy, Allen would definitely know a thing or two about Skull Island from the time he spent there. But how can Kong even have a chance against the skyscraper-sized Godzilla? During a recent chat with Bloody Disgusting, King of the Monsters director Mike Dougherty explained why he thinks Kong has a chance in this fight, comparing it to a sort of David versus Goliath situation. He says Kong is extremely intelligent. As a primate, he's a tool user, so he's got speed, he's got agility. It's like, okay, in Skull Island, he was an adolescent, so he was still growing. So who knows how big he is since the 1970s when they first met him. The implication here is that Kong is big now, like really, really big, which he'd have to have a chance. But really, the sequel will likely be more of a team-up than a takedown. The pair will undoubtedly fight at least once, but in the grand tradition of Godzilla movies, they'll probably team up eventually to take on a more perilous foe. Maybe it'll be the Mecha Ghidorah that Dance is perhaps planning to build, or maybe it'll be some new creature that could possibly have something to do with the quote-unquote origins of the Titans that Monarch is investigating in the film. Whatever ends up happening, it's unlikely that the battle will just be between Kong and Godzilla, as King of the Monsters introduced 17 Titans in total, around 10 of which we saw, and many of whom seem to be headed to Skull Island now. Who will get in on this clash of the Titans? We'll have to wait until next year to find out. For more Godzilla stuff, check out our review of Godzilla King of the Monsters and our Godzilla and Kong in 5 minutes. And be sure to subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch.